Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the Pop Collectors Alliance podcast, How to Spot a Fake Funko Pop. I am Rick, your host, joined as always by my bearded co-host, Captain Strongbeard, Mr. Piper. How are we doing Sunday evening, 10:19 p.m. Central Standard Time?
We're doing great because we're not doing this at 2 a.m.
We should be firing on all cylinders this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And when you hear this, you should hear a refined and clear and conclusive Rick and Piper.
Our brains have less fog in them.
Less cloudy and less fueled by energy drinks or late night snacks or carbonated caffeinated beverages. And as always, this is the only podcast on the internet dedicated to returning collecting to the Pop Collector. And every time you join the Pop Collectors Alliance, you are entering the no flip zone. And this week, yet again, it's no different. But before we get to announcements, I wanted to say the lead up to San Diego Comic-Con this year seems fairly quiet. There are an abnormal amount of exclusives already for sale, so I think there's quite a few individuals out there that have some level of confidence of getting these items.
I don't know. Do you feel like there was more of like a loud hiss associated with SDCC in the past? Do you think there was a huge difference from last year to this year?
I think that last year brought a lot of people who were excited to be at the event because, one, you had the pop-up shop, you had the Game of Thrones experience there with a pop, you also had Conan, you had Fun Days, and you had the con. And this year, there is sort of an outside thing for pops. I think it's mainly the Conan pops. And I mean, maybe they'll offer some shared exclusives outside somewhere, but there's no pop-up shop, right? And Funko Fun Days, the whole way that it sold out this year, I see
The
more
debauchery.
Yeah, the Tumblebee, whose name will
Devil.
die in infamy. But this year, more than others, I've sort of seen, I want to say, sort of a reluctance to just get it over with, maybe. And last year it was more excitement leading up to it. And I'm not particularly excited about what they have to offer this year. And that it may just be personal to me. They have a lot of stuff out there, but is it what's the question I want to ask? Is it right for them to take this stance and just continually grow the amount of exclusives that they're putting at an event? Or should they backpedal a little bit and slow it down along those lines?
I get that they're growing their fan base, so they want to try to, service those new fans and all that. But I agree with you. I feel like, one, there's not a whole lot of numbered exclusives this year. And that's part of it for me is I like collecting exclusivity. And right now, most of the convention exclusives are shared exclusives. So I'll be able to pick them up without any effort, which is nice. I mean, it's nice if there's something like I really, really want. The Gus from Saga. Okay, I know for sure I love Saga. And I really got to get that. Past years, they would have 40 things that were going to come out, and maybe 2/3 of them, if we were lucky, were going to be shared. So the rest of them we had to get somebody who's going to the con or end up buying off eBay or just not getting it at all. So maybe I get that part. I totally understand that. And I think there's a lot of stuff also. It's kind of maybe a bitterness that what we're experiencing, the fact that the issues we did have with Fun Days that literally nobody, unless you were a board member, is going. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happened revolving around San Diego Comic-Con. I think that's kind of put a little bit of a cloud over it.
I think a lot of people that I know approach it in the same light as I do, where you've been a collector for so long, and if you're collecting anything, and this isn't exclusive to Funko, if you collect something for a while, you go through these up and down periods. And I think I'm in my valley period. I might have said that a couple episodes ago, and I kind of am trending in that downward direction right now. And I'm not trying to be negative. I'm trying to understand, because in one hand, I want Funko to grow to appeal to a larger audience. And if you put 73 or 75 or however many exclusives it is out there to an audience, you are ensuring that somebody out there is going to want something that you're providing. And for the most part, I think that they've captured that. However, one of the things that I'm seeing a lot of is close duplications of some of the original lines, some of the commons, if they're making them chrome, which I like for the most part. I like the chrome pops, but taking this, and we joked about it last episode, where it's, I'm going to take every pop that I've made, I'm going to dip it in chrome and call it a new release.
Call it a day.
Yeah. I think that you have to manage that aspect of what you're producing in production, for that matter, and level it out to a point where you're just picking and choosing. Because, and I'll get to it later on the show when I pause this and fast forward to the end of our future releases, and then you'll get sort of my overall take on it. But to just close up what I'm saying here, it's not that I'm frustrated with Funko, because I'm not. It's more along the lines of, I'm frustrated with the fact that in order to be able to get the things that you want now, it's not as challenging as it used to be, so that it sort of sucks the life out of getting those exclusive items, like you said, if you collect for exclusivity or not. When it does that, and when it crosses over, and we've said this since we started the podcast, once a certain percentage of the fan base of Funko tips over into the scale of resellers versus just genuine fans, then it becomes a problem. And I think at this point, when you get a release, it's following this pattern. And I think it's always followed this pattern, is that I see a gold chrome Super Saiyan Vegeta, and I automatically say to myself, hey, you're not getting it. Save up $500, just be prepared. And to a certain extent, I think Funko likes that. I'm not blaming them for liking that, because when you have a strong secondary market like Supreme, you build that market base off of the secondary market, right? Because you know you're going to sell what you put out there, and they're going to turn around and resell it. And that's fine. I just say, to the point of year after year after year, when you get there, you sort of have to come up with creative ways of getting the things you want. And that's why we do this podcast, is there will be these opportunities for us to get these items, or to help you get these items. So I guess in the long run, it's really a good thing for us.
Yeah, I think so. But it's kind of a weird sort of situation, because you can compare it to like playing a video game. Say you played a video game from the very beginning, and you're part of that hardcore fan base. And then you got all these new people starting to come into the game, and they're complaining that it's too hard. So they make the game easier. Well, you're at that point, you're pushing out the old blood to hopefully make room for that new.
Yeah, because the new blood, I guess, poses the most profitability.
Maybe. So it's like you're risking alienating your original fan base for the new people coming in.
Yeah, and I think it's so hard, because I don't want to be negative, but I do want to be honest.
No, it's not being negative. It's not being negative. I think it's being realistic and being honest.
Yeah, and I think you're on the same boat with me, because we're sort of both in the same boat. We're both realists in the fact that we call a spade, and to some people that may sound negative, because that's something as a realist you kind of battle with your whole life, is convincing everyone that you're not being pessimistic. You're only pointing out the fact of whatever it is, and it's their interpretation of it that makes it negative. But yeah, you're right. I want to be honest, and I think at this point, I would not classify Funko as Beanie Babies. I would classify Funko as Hot Wheels. In the way that I say it is that with a Hot Wheel, there's a higher number of production on these items. So there's not a linear translation. But with Hot Wheels now in that market, and it's been this way since back in the late 90s, people knew the schedules of delivery, and they still do to this day. I went in to a Walmart when they were releasing the Ready Player One pops to try and get the Walmart exclusive chase. And the same thing happened, where there were 7 people waiting for them to dump the Hot Wheels into those bins, and they're just rummaging through them all. And they know, and I asked them, I said, I don't collect Hot Wheels, but just tell me how did you guys infiltrate it? And they said, well, being part of it, getting to know employees. Some of us were former employees, and we've since went on to do this. They know that schedule, and that's the way Funko is now. They're to that point where people know BrickSeek. People know all of the tips and tricks that we've talked about. Not new collectors, but enough people know when to show up, because you hear on the other side of the ball all the time, and I know we're going off on a little bit of a rant here, but it's okay. You hear a lot of new collectors, and I know, Piper, you've heard the same thing when we've been at conventions. People come up to us and they're new collectors. The first thing they say is, man, I see all of these things, but I've never seen them in stores.
Because you slow, son.
And that's the point that I guess I'm trying to make in all of this, is that Funko is not a Beanie Baby, and it's not a collectible seasonal toy like a Hatchimal or something along those lines, because it's not in and out, fad, on off switch. It's here to stay for a little while longer.
It has that longevity.
However, it's seriously, is it in trouble? Is it endangered when the secondary market starts to oversell stuff, or is that ultimately good for it?
Well, I think that they see the fact that, it is good for them because it guarantees sellout of, whatever exclusive products, and, it potentially brings in new people because, some random guy, let's say my dad, he could be searching on eBay for stuff and popping up on his eBay feed in his searches because he's looking for, I don't know, like Star Trek collectibles or something. It may draw his interest, and that'll bring him into buying commons, and then that'll suck him into the whole, I got to buy all the things all the time. So I think that it is good to be aware of secondary market, but I think that there is a fine line that Funko is treading right now, where they are not, I don't want to say supporting the market more than the customer, but it's almost that point where oh, we need to release these things and we're going to make these things available, more readily available. Maybe that's me looking too much into it, but I kind of get that feeling of it. And then that's not a bad thing. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, because that's collecting, whether it's pops or hats or rubber bands
or sneakers or any of it. Yes.
old sneakings. Yeah, exactly.
And I think something that I constantly have to remind myself of, and everyone else out there, and you just brought it up, is that at the end of the day, when a product sells out and they sell it to, I wanted to say Toys R Us, but any
Well, they can't sell it to Toys R Us anymore.
Yes. If they sell out, they're done with it. They wipe their hands clean of it. They move on, and they just move on to the next product. And you're right.
Well, that's the goal, isn't it? If you are a manufacturer of a product, you want to sell out of your stock.
Exactly. And that's my point, is that they're doing the right thing, and evidently it's worked. I just hope that we don't continue to see the trend of selling, because if everyone knows right now, if you're trying to sell your pops, you're taking hits on your pops because the values are going down, because everyone's selling in preparation for this 73 item release. And it's not just us or other people or whoever it is out there, but people buy more of these exclusives for trade bait. Everyone does. So it's not just Jim or Joe or Jim Joe or whoever going out there to get their Elena Tyrell. I said Tyrell. Did I get that right? I get the Martells and the Tyrells mixed up, but getting their Elena Tyrell at the box launch, they're going over to Hot Topic and they're grabbing 8 of those shared exclusives there. And that's a good thing for everyone, I guess. Congratulations, businesses, for hashtag economy. That's enough of that. So tell us what you think. Tell us, do you think it's a good thing that the secondary market is as strong as it is? Do you think it's a good thing that where the whole state of selling Funko and all of its products are right now? Are you happy with the SDC releases this week? You can email us at info@popcollectorsalliance.com. Contact us directly on Facebook at facebook.com/popcollectorsalliance. You can message us on Twitter or Instagram at Pop Alliance Pod. So announcements this week. One of the things I really wanted to talk about was the importance of rating and reviewing the show. I see tons of people out there on Spotify now, downloading us from iTunes, Google. I know that not everyone can rate us on Spotify, but if you happen to listen to us on Spotify, take a second, if you have an iPhone, to go to the podcasts app and rate us. And if you have even more time, give us a little friendly review if you like what you hear. We appreciate the 5 stars. If you don't like us, I encourage you to pass on rating us and reviewing us, but
go away.
If it's your prerogative, go ahead and do it. But I want to put a friendly reminder out there to everyone to please hit us up on that Apple Podcast app and give us a 5-star review. You don't have to put a message or anything in there. Just click 5 stars and it's done. And it helps us out. It goes a long way in promoting this product. So when people are searching for Funko on the iTunes store, our podcast shows up. So we appreciate everything that everyone's already done. I think we've got quite a few reviews in there, and it's grown pretty much from episode to episode. So if you want to just take a small amount of time to go in there and do that, we really appreciate it. All right, the SDCC late night release, super fun time, Pop Collectors Alliance party. Giveaways. I'm getting ready to go on vacation, so I know that I'm super stoked about this. This is going to happen the night before all of these San Diego Comic-Con Pops release and the shared exclusives. It's going to start at 10:30 Central Time and 9:30 Central Time for our patrons. It'll be a special hour for the patrons, and we're going to continue that all the way through all of the releases we can until we pass out at our keyboards. So join us that night. And I will have good internet connection, so there won't be any problems.
But you mean you have a magical hotel that has good internet?
Supposedly, it's supposed to have a really good connection, but we'll see. You know how that goes.
Oh, dude, I was just on vacation last week on one of my mysterious random secret vacations that I go on every other week.
Hey, we're going on vacation this weekend.
Well, yeah.
And it's Wednesday.
It's not Wednesday. What I was saying, my hotel was awful. In my room where the desk was at, I had no wireless internet. I had to literally move my laptop like 4 feet to the left. It was just the weirdest thing. So I spent most of because my daughter was with us. So we're in one room because they didn't have like a suite or whatever. So we are in one room, like 2 beds. My daughter's bed and my wife and I. So she goes to bed at like 7:30. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I can't have the lights on. I can't watch TV. So I spent most of my nights on this vacation in the hotel lobby, just like watching people stumble around outside the bar and work on the Pop Collectors Alliance website or play video game.
You're just casually people watching and playing games in the lobby
for very long amounts of time.
Abnormally long amounts of time. Did they have comfortable chairs at least?
There's in the lobby for like 6 hours. Well, at one point somebody came over to me like, "Sir, are you staying in this hotel?" I was like, "Yes, I'm staying in this hotel. I just can't go up in my room. My daughter's sleeping. Leave me alone.
Can you give me $5?
Let me go back to playing Heroes of the Storm.
I'll leave for $10.
Go away."
Were the chairs comfortable at least?
Oh yeah. The lobby was very nice. Shout out to the Hilton. What was it? The Dallas Fort Worth Lakes Hilton, I think is what it was.
That's the one up in Grapevine.
You have a very nice lobby. Your bar hours are incredibly poor, and why do you not have food available after midnight? That I don't understand.
Most hotels do. That is kind of weird.
At least most hotels will have like a store. Like, you can usually go up to the front and they'll have a little like grocery store to the like right hand side where you can buy like candy bars and ice cream and stuff,
Yeah,
they don't have that
snack kiosk area.
Yes, I like that. I need that when I stay at a hotel. Make sure that your hotel has one.
It's only $7.99 for this Kit Kat bar.
Oh yes. Well, okay, at least have a vending machine. I'll pay a premium for like a nice vending machine. Make sure it takes credit cards because nobody keeps.
I forgot where I stayed recently. It was somewhere resort wise, but it was in Orlando.
Oh, last time I was at a resort.
No. It's one of they call them resorts. I don't think they're really resorts, but when you go to Universal, one of the hotels on campus, and they have vending machines in the hallway and they're Cokes, but they're like $7 for a Coke.
Were they really $7?
I don't know. I think they were legitimately like $4 a piece, and I'm not exaggerating the price. It's like $4.50 for a Coke.
That doesn't surprise me.
And it's just when you wake up, because normally the first thing that we do when we go on any type of vacation is that we go to Walgreens or someplace like that and pick up 30 gallons of water and put it in the fridge. Because you always, for some reason, when you wake up in a hotel, you always wake up thirsty. And I think they do that on purpose. They just suck all the humidity out of that place. So you wake up. I was going to say
there's no humidity, and it's just like having an oscillating fan blowing in your throat.
Exactly. All those in-room AC units. So then you
They're the
wake up
worst.
thirsty and then you spend $17 on bottles of water.
Yeah, that's it. Unless you're staying at a fancy hotel that gives you that free water. I
Yeah.
need one of them free water hotels.
You get if you are certain statuses with people. I used to be good status, but then you lose, then you go down to peasant and you're just like, you come in and you're platinum executive, platinum plus, and they're like, oh, here, sir, here's a water. Would you like cookies? We have some lemon infused water for you. And then you come in as peasant status and they're like, hey, here's a Kool-Aid pack. Where's the water at? You don't just use tap water. It's all good. So let me go to the pop-up site sale. Patrons, you're still going to get that reward trial run. We're still working towards it, hopefully in the very near future. So keep your eyes open for that. The Pop Collectors Alliance Elite. Early information will be available to newsletter subscribers soon.
That will be, when you hear this, that week. Tomorrow is next week. So sometime in the next couple of days.
For the Pop Collectors Alliance Elite?
I will send out an email. An email will be going out to email subscribers just about the Elite status.
The questionnaire. So you can become a brand ambassador and earn
work for free
and pop. We'll work for pop.
Oh yeah, relative.
Yeah, and you get a fancy schmancy little package and everything to promote our product. You get little cards and maybe a t-shirt and all kinds of goodies. So look for that in the near future. And another announcement that I got this week, at least one of us so far at Pop Collectors Alliance will be traveling to New York City Comic Con because they had a big problem with press passes this year where they just blanket disapproved everyone. So we had to reapply, and I think we're going to get it this time. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be a huge party. You should come to New York City Comic Con.
Can you make sure that I get it? Because I'm gonna be sad. This is the second convention I'm not allowed to go to.
See, this is funny that you
because I wasn't allowed to go to Emerald City, and now I'm not gonna be allowed to go to New York City.
I just watched Game of Thrones, and they talk about the constant theme in Game of Thrones is, well, when you're king or when you're whoever, you can tell the story as you like. That's Piper's story with Emerald City Comic Con. He's just became King Joffrey, and he's just like, I was not allowed to go.
I'm not King Joffrey.
I'll write this story any way that I feel like.
If anyone, I'm that stable boy. He's gonna be an awesome knight. That's me.
Oh, Gendry. He's not a stable.
Yeah, there you go.
The Smith.
Why do you know his name?
I know everybody's
name. He's the most
B
character in that show.
Well, he came back in season 7, so he had a decent role. Though. It's pretty good. So that's all of the announcements this week. Go right to pickups. We are rummaging through this. This is going to be a short segment because this is the first week in a very long time that I've really received nothing from Funko at all. Mark it in your calendars. Write it down, ladies and gentlemen. You will rue this now. I'm just kidding, but you will remember this day because this will be the only day that I say this. I didn't pick up anything Funko related in a week, a period of 7 days. Normally there's mystery minis or there's 5-star.
I'm surprised you didn't get any mystery minis. Like, that's a big shocker to me.
I'm waiting for restocks. I got all of the Harry Potters that I can get to this point, and Barnes & Noble is really behind the ball on these Harry Potter exclusives. So I don't know when they're going to come out because they just released a restock of all the Series 2 Harry Potter mystery minis. And it's just this lead up to San Diego Comic-Con where you have a couple of weeks where nothing happens. And that I just fell in that week.
That's funny. My wife, she did the same thing to me this week. We were in Hot Topic. She was like, don't you need to pick up any packages? And I was like, nah, I hadn't ordered anything. She just looked at me kind of like strangely. She was like, what does that mean? I was like,
I haven't heard that statement.
I was like, nothing has come out. Nothing good has come out. I was like, everyone is waiting. Even the retailers, they're waiting to release their stuff until, after San Diego. And then the normal flow of product will commence again. But like right now, there's not, even if I wanted to pick up some stuff, there's just nothing really.
Yeah, I know the Big Apple sold those Oscars, and I know we wanted to get those, but it's really weird that they shipped them already. And how in the world did they get them? That's all I want to know.
They were. I wonder if they were told to hold them.
Well, how did they get a shared exclusive? That's what I want to know.
I don't think it was I don't think it was because that was the Walmart one, right?
Well, it says 20. What did it say? 2018 Summer Convention exclusive
Okay,
sticker
okay,
on
so
it.
that's the
It's not the Target one.
that's the well, no, it's the shared one with Target, but it's also it's going to be it's a SDCC one, but I think it's shared with Target
Yeah,
because it was the one that
that's the one they
it
got.
was originally going to be the Target exclusive with a chase, and then they changed it down. It's SDCC, and then the chase is just going to be the Target exclusive. It was this whole like crazy thing, but maybe they found a Target that sold them to them early, and then
They
they
just
let 'em.
rummaged the back room.
Well, that would not surprise me. I mean, I don't know anybody at Big Apple. I'm not. This is nothing. I'm not saying anything about Big Apple. I'm just saying that I know of I know of companies that I would not put it past them that they would, be able to reach out to a retailer and buy their stock early.
I wouldn't say
To
that
sell them
would be a
second.
negative thing anyways. Hustle
No, not at
hard.
all. I don't think it
Hustle
is. I mean,
hard.
they're doing business.
Yeah.
I'm down with it. If Big Apple did that, cool. If they cut a deal with Funko and they got that shared exclusive as well, because that was one of the weird ones that really like it was so up in the air and like we didn't think it was real at first, and then it was. And maybe that's just one that they are doing with a bunch of bunch of comic book shops. Because they're letting them sell that.
I,
So who knows?
I
I
know I
mean, we
bombed
don't
out
know.
on their mystery box. Swing and a miss. Chase
What'd
Bob
you get in
Ross.
there?
Chase Bob Ross. And that was last week. It wasn't this week.
Man.
$18 for $50, ladies and gentlemen. Not everyone's a winner, but it's okay. Last time
No.
I think I broke even, and this time I did not win. I know what comes with it. I'm not a salty loser.
No, I've only purchased once from them, and that I got a $100 gift card. So I mean, I'm okay with that. But I'm gonna use it next time when they do the July box.
I'm going to buy 2 mystery boxes.
I am maybe watch both of them be like the top two. I will probably chop my table in half out of excitement. I know it won't though. Just like I have the worst luck, so I'm gonna get two of this like the worst.
I don't believe you on that. Anyways,
I do. I'm not okay, dude. My daughter
with Pop,
is
you have
great.
good luck. When you order stuff online, you have good luck. You doubled that in the first one, and you got in chases a lot of times.
Like with Hades, yeah, I got some chases out of that, and I was excited. But like that's like never.
I ordered 9 of them. I got no chases. 9.
I ordered 6, and I got 3.
Yeah. Oh, poor you.
And I've given them all. I've given them all, 2 of them away. So
yeah. And what was the other? Oh, and then I ordered that stupid Zero with Bone. I ordered 10 of those, and I got 0 chases.
Oh, well, that's box lunch, and they're just being mean to you.
Yeah, they know me personally. What did you pick up this week?
I did actually get a few things. So, and most of them were really good deals, or they were trades. So I got a King Dice from Cuphead, the Chase, because I'm trying to complete that set, like one of the few sets that I want to complete, just because it's so small. So I picked that up. I did a trade on that guy with a local guy here to me. His name's Tony. What's up, Tony? I hope you're listening. I got that. Then I picked up. It's not Funko, but I picked up some Power Rangers Loyal Subjects, the mystery mini boxes.
Oh yeah.
I was at Marshall's. Again, look in weird places for collectibles. I was in Marshall's, and there's one sitting on like a shelf, and I was like, oh cool, there's Loyal Subjects. I collect Loyal Subject stuff. So I grabbed it, and I was expecting it to be ripped open, and it actually wasn't. And then I looked a little bit further down, and there's 2 more, and they're $3.99 each. So I was like, yeah, I'll take these because they're normally $14. They're the most expensive mystery mini like things that I've ever seen.
The Loyal Subjects and the Kid Robots. They are just
both
ridiculous.
of them are so cool though. I love Kid Robot. I love Loyal Subjects. Especially I love Loyal Subjects because they are legitimate action figures.
Sometimes you can't figure out what's in the box, but for the Dragon Ball Z boxes, you could figure out everything.
If you're trying to build the golden Shenron, right?
Well, no, he wasn't golden, but yeah, the green Shenron.
Oh, is it not? I thought it was a golden one.
Yeah, it was a green one. But you could tell the weight. It's like 70 grams larger.
Yeah, they're way super heavy. The same one with the Attack on Titan one. You could build the because there's 2.
Yeah, the Titan
the
forms.
Titan and then Aaron in Titan form. They're really cool too. They're tall. They're super tall. I'll post a picture of mine on Instagram so people can check it out. But it's an awesome line. If you guys like mystery minis and you don't mind spending $15 and the ratios are absolutely insane. Oh, this is a 1 in 96. If you like the hunt, then I would suggest looking at Low Subjects. It's a pretty cool line.
But you will
So I picked up
waste your money because they have
For
no
real.
resale value.
only the chases.
A lot
Every
of
set, there's
times-
like 4 chases.
And a lot of times those are the same weight as the regular ones. So you're always getting duplicates. I think I have 2 boxes full of the Dragon Ball Z things.
Yeah, it's definitely a product that you need to collect because you like the series. There's WWE ones coming out. I will buy all of them, and I will have a million duplicates. I don't even care, but it's WWE, and I collect that. So we got that, and then I ordered 2 things from Funko. I ended up, and they were weird. I got on the day that they had the blue Hikari Freddy, and I'm not gonna buy that. So I looked around and I ended up picking. I'm all into vinyl now. Their new line or VYNL, not just vinyl in general. But I picked up the Freddy 2-pack of the vinyl figures, the normal Freddy and the robot Freddy. I'm really excited about that. And then I also picked up the 2-pack of Dorbs, the Beastman and Mossman. And then lastly, I was at Target, walked past the electronics counter, and they just had a 10-inch T-Rex and then a 10-inch Scrooge McDuck sitting there. So went ahead and I picked myself up a 10-inch T-Rex because that is the only Jurassic World Park whatever pop that I care about because it's sweet.
Yeah, they're dinosaur toys. That's what they look like to me.
I am not all in on it, but you know what? It looks really cool.
Yeah, I was going out for the Dobby and the Basilisk, and I, no lie, saw the same 3 or 4 people go to a lot of the stores I was in, buying the same things again and again and again. It was one of those things like
they have a lot of cousins.
There was a run on all the Jurassic Park things. I don't know why, but they were gone. I never saw one of those in store. I wouldn't have purchased it anyways.
How many times I tell you, if you need the stuff, you should come down here
and it'll take us 2 hours and we'll be done because there's 4
exactly. And then we
stores
can
there.
go. We'll have a nice sandwich, and then we can maybe go see a movie. We'll make a day of it.
Like I said, I really had no interest in getting a 10-inch T-Rex,
and it's okay because all of the other ones I have no interest in either. I did buy the red D-word dinosaur, the Dilophosaurus.
The Dilophosaurus, yeah.
There we go. I did buy one, the red card exclusive one, only because, and I know he doesn't listen to this because he's a brand new collector and he hasn't caught on to the game yet. But I have a buddy, one of my best friends from college, Arlo. If you're listening to this, I have a Target exclusive D-word dinosaur for you. It is on the way, and it is a belated birthday present.
When you say D-word dinosaur, it just doesn't sound right. Not safe for children's ears. I have a D-word dinosaur.
I can't. That's too big of a word for me to remember nor say. Dilophosaurus.
Dilophosaurus.
Is that what it is?
No, but it just
dolphin dinosaur. Dolphin.
Thank you for the fish.
That's it. That's all I got. I'm very proud of the fact that I have not bought a ton.
Yeah, and I'm weeding down my collection, and we'll get to that in just a second. But good news for people who want to go to Fun Days but could not go to Fun Days. Funko news this week. Funko Fun Days will be live streamed this year. You can check it out. We'll have it in the show notes. The link on the webpage. Just go to collectpops.com. You can look for this episode 28, and the link to watch Fun Days live will be there. It begins Friday, July 20th. 7:30 Pacific time. That's 8:30 Mountain time, 9:30 Central time, 10:30 Eastern time. I did them all for you because I love and care for everyone out there, and I don't want you to miss it because there will also be prizes available for people who are tuning in from home. So that's a unique thing. Maybe get your hands on one of the rare Freddies, participate at home, and enjoy all the fun of Funko Fun Days.
Hey, Ricky.
Yep.
I know that you wanted to come to Fun Days, but as a consolation, here's a video of people having fun. I hope you enjoy it. Sincerely, Mr. Funko.
I'm Mr. Funko. I created Funko. That's what
I named it after my daughter.
That's what they were saying when we were in line at Emerald City Comic Con outside of headquarters, HQ, Funko HQ shop. There was a homeless guy that came up and he's, "Who are you?" Because the guy told him to move on because he kept bothering us. And he was pulling cones out into the middle of the street. And he's like, "Who are you, Mr. Funko? You own this place?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I'm Mr. Funko." And then They called the cops and they came over and rushed him away. So that's good news. You may not like it if you can't be there, and you might be all curmudgeoned. I won't be able to watch because I'll be in Vegas, so I'll be doing other stuff. But it's a unique opportunity for people to tune in and win prizes. And I would assume that all the prizes that you're going to win there are pretty awesome, because last year they were giving away mono Conans out the wazoo. They were giving away Freddy Funkos. They were giving away all kinds of stuff. So check that out.
The only thing is, though, if you're there, you're only competing against what, like 1,200 people to get stuff for free. Now you're going to be competing like against 50,000 people to get something.
Yeah, don't be
At
too
least
down by Debbie
this.
Downer here.
I'm a realist. I'm sorry. Chances are you're not going to win anything on the live stream for Fun Days, and chances are that you're not getting a Chrome Vegeta, even if you wanted one. So I'm sorry, kids. That's just the way that the cookie is crumbly.
Oh, 3-year-old kid, you want to be a baseball player when you grow up? You want to be a pro ball player? Oh, well, that only happens to 1 in 10 million people, and it's probably not going to happen to you.
Say that you're going to work at a 7-Eleven.
You should just live stream on Twitch, and hopefully people will give you $12 a day, and then figure out how to live on it.
$12 a day is a lot of money. You can live off that, especially if you live in your mom's ready room.
I live in their walk-in closet. I sleep on a cot. I've been here for 8 years.
I'm in the dry foods pantry.
You do an episode of MTV Cribs, and they walk into your parents walk in while there's your show. Look at my crib. What are all these women's clothes in here? Oh, don't worry about that. That's my roommate. That's my roommate. You have a roommate in this 8x10 room? Oh, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Look at all this bling.
He's a rat. He lives in the wall. He doesn't take up much space.
There you go. So Funko releases this week. It's something I kind of want to cover every week, just briefly, because they are just on a tear of all of these releases. You have the Marvel Collector Cord box with Amazon, the Deadpool box, however many Deadpools they're ever going to make, and people just eat them up. So eat your heart out with that box. They also announced this week the Funko Disney Treasures box with Hot Topic, the first one. There is the picture.
Are you going to spoil it?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm going to give a spoiler alert, but they gave they leaked the picture out of the box. It's a treasure chest, and
it's a cool box, dude.
It's Hot Topic's first box with the Disney Treasures set, and it's on our Facebook page if you want to check it out. But I'm going to give a spoiler alert now. Hit the skip forward 15 seconds button if you don't want to know what it is. But it's Ariel on a rock screaming.
The pain. Someone put me out of my misery. I have fish feet.
Her mouth looks extremely weird in that picture too.
It does look like she's screaming, but it's called Find Your Voice, and it's supposed to be singing. But if she's singing like a Gojira song.
No, she's singing with a knife stabbed into her back.
It's the most metal singing ever. Dude, you know what? I think I need to buy it just so that I can repaint it so she looks like a heavy metal chick.
Or just
I think that would be like perfect.
And put a knife in her back.
I'm not gonna put a knife in her back. Oh, dude, you've seen Metalocalypse before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so there is a song that in that show that's called Mermaider, and that is what that needs to be called.
That's what your pop will be called, the Mermaider?
Yes, the mermaid murder.
You should just paint her face half robot too and call her the Merminator.
Merminator. My father has a trident.
I think that's just part of the song.
Yes, there you go. We're writing the song as we go. Last week we just needed to do pitch ideas for TV shows. This week we need to come up with pitch ideas for songs.
That's it. We're songmen.
From Screaming on a Rock Ariel to Ultra Instinct Goku, which I had pegged as a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive for some reason. It would make so much sense if it was. It is Ultra Instinct Goku, also known as Witness Me Goku from Mad Max Fury Road. Because his hair is silver.
But
you don't know Mad Max Fury Road? They spray paint their mouths with chrome spray paint and they say "Witness me" and then they die. Yeah.
Really?
Yes, exactly. You haven't seen that
movie?
movie?
I watch this movie?
No, anything
Sounds like
anything in the past 5 years, there is a 2.5% chance you've seen it. So I always side with the fact that you have not. If it's on Netflix, that percentage rises from 2 to about 50 to 60.
No, it's like 3.5%. Because I see stuff, I'm like, I ain't got time to watch this. I'm gonna watch Lockup.
Let's watch Lockup for these just trashy shows.
Dude, it's always the same things. It's either British cooking shows, or it's I'm in prison, or it's buying lockers that people have abandoned. That's my whole
Storage wars. Oh, I just bought this locker. Oh, what could be in that box? What could be in that box? And nothing's really in there, but somebody walked in this. Oh, I found this Mona Lisa or the Civil War sword that they walked in from the museum. They literally walk it in from a museum when they cut the screen. They're like,
there's a guy with a shirt on, like the museum shirt on, and he's not allowed to hand it. He's literally holding it for him, and he has white gloves on. He just walks away.
And they always pose that question, lean over the body. Look back here. Look back there. There's a sword back here. Look at it. You can just blatantly tell that it was placed there. It's like on a curio cabinet that was made in like 1960, and there's just a Civil War sword sitting on top of it. I'm gonna get this.
No, it's not even a Civil War sword. It's like a brand new sword from the mall. It's been all shined up real nice, and it's just like glowing. There's a light on it.
How much is that worth? That sword is worth $12,000. Well, if I had a storage unit that I was $300 behind on, don't you think I would come get that sword?
Yeah, I would at least come and get my sword so I can put that on eBay and I can pay for my storage unit.
Oh, this here is a Picasso painting worth $400,000. Oh yeah, it's in a $80 a month storage unit in the middle of Poughkeepsie.
Skip back 6 months and you just hear a knock on the front office. Yeah, I need to pay up my storage unit so I can get my $800,000 Picasso out of there.
Give it to me,
please. I need to get it. It was my grandmammy.
Oh my god,
legit on that show. They were like looking through a storage unit and they found a bunch of like books, and one of them was, I want to say it's like a pre-World War II Bible from Germany, and it was, I guess, the Nazis went through and they collected a lot of these Bibles and they burned them, and so one of them was like survived, and it was worth, I forgot how much it was. It was like $26,000 for this like second edition German hymnal.
Oh wow!
I was like, you're not gonna. Well, I could see that plausibly happening because you don't know what it's worth. You got it handed or something like that. But still, like, fine. I've never found anything like that. You know how many pawn shops and garage sales and flea markets I've gone to? I never find no $20,000 book.
It didn't happen.
They don't exist except for on that History Channel. But I watched the Canada one, so it's a little more upscale.
Yeah, I saw a meme. I saw a meme this weekend that said, HGTV be like, and it's got a couple in the kitchen, and it says, I'm a salamander farmer, and his wife does part-time teaching. And it says our price range is 600,000 to $1 million. It's so true. It's so true. I don't know how we got from Goku, Ultra Instinct to this. Let me follow that path back. It was Goku looks like Mad Max. You don't watch movies. You don't watch Netflix. Oh, I do watch Netflix, and it's a Storage War show, and that's where we got. Wow, follow that. That's the 6 things of Kevin Bacon or whatever of our conversation.
That's 6 degrees of separation between me and popular culture.
Ultra Instinct and Storage Wars. Ultra Instinct Goku and Storage Wars.
So Old Man Goku is what it looks like to me.
Blink 182. Everyone and their mother is excited about these two. And it's only 2/3 of Blink 182. I know that the band has since broken up, and Tom DeLonge.
No, they've not broken up. They're not broken up.
Okay.
They have a new lead singer.
Well, what I'm saying is the original band broke up. The band is together, but Tom DeLonge is no longer with them.
Because he's insane and he thinks the government is hiding UFOs.
There you go. So that's coming out. You have that to look forward to. And then you have a Twinkie with a cowboy hat on called Twinkie the Kid. I'll squirt you full of Twinkie juices.
No.
That's what it is. The Twinkie shouldn't have gums. Let me.
It's a Twinkie joke. It's good if you put it in the microwave, kid.
Yes. It's filled with cream and he has a gun. Watch out for Twinkie the Kid.
Did you see that Brian posted on the Funko boards that there are going to be more Hostess mascots? I didn't know there were so many. How can a company have like 18 mascots? Ding Dong McPherson and Ho Ho Guy, and then there's like a racist looking Native American chief in there.
Ugh.
You can see it's very dated. You
And
can
then
see
they
that it
have,
was not a recent drawing.
And then Little Debbie just has Little Debbie, but she has just as many snack cakes as they do. But there's just Little Debbie. It's like, oh, cosmic brownies with little Debbie. There's not like Charlie the cosmic brownie. There's just Little Debbie.
There's like an alligator. Like I don't know why there's an alligator in there, but it looks real threatening.
Crocubot.
Is that what it's called?
No, I just made that up. So Twinkie the Kid, are you excited about it? He has a chase, right?
He does have a chase. I'm very excited about this, like 1 in 6 common chase.
There you go.
And then, no, I'm not. I don't. Ad icons is like, I like them, but it has to be something that I remember from like childhood or something that has meaning to me. That's the only way I'm going to buy an ad.
They're hit and miss.
Yeah, really. Like I love like Bullseye, like the Target dog. I love that. That's one of my favorite pops that I own. The cereal mascots. I love all of those. But again, that's like, oh, I remember being a kid. That's why I like these. I need to buy them all now.
Yeah, and Steve Vonnie. What about that? That's an ad icon for Steven Universe.
It's not an ad icon. I am.
Do
you watch the show? Do you watch Steven Universe?
Yeah, I haven't kept up with it, but I did watch it in the first few seasons.
Neither your boys don't. They're not all into that show.
Not as much as they used to be. They've gotten to the age where they phased out television shows, and my one son wants to watch anime all the time, and then my other son wants to play Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if I watched the show and I understood the canon behind why this character exists, it's a cool looking character.
It's a fusion of Steven and Connie. So it's Steven and his human friend. And Steven like all the gyms confuse. And Garnet, as everyone knows, this is not a spoiler, is a fusion.
I don't know this. I know nothing about this.
So Steven and Connie are a fusion together. If there's any Steven Universe fans listening, you know I got it right. Nailed it. Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry, Tom and Jerry, Tom and Jerry. So these Tom and Jerry's, when I saw them, you know what I thought of the first thing I saw them? I was thinking what happened when you saw Itchy them. And Scratchy from The Simpsons. I was like, man, did they make those?
Oh, yeah.
The Itchy and Scratchy show. I was wondering if they did, but I didn't go and check.
Was it the Funko Shop one that kind of sold that for you?
Well, they all actually have violence, right? So you have Tom with bomb and Jerry with dynamite, which is a Target exclusive. Then you have the cleaver and the piece of cheese, which is just the commons. And then you have the 2-pack of, I think they're holding the dynamite. They might be holding the cleaver and the cheese, but it's the Flock 2-pack. That's a Funko Shop, which people, another rant, people already have this up for pre-sale. And I know what the people are. It's the people in Washington that are going to go to HQ and get this, but you have to know when this is released. And a lot of people ask us every week when we put up coming soon, Funko Shop exclusive, like, when does this come out? We have no idea. We have just as much as an idea as you, and we may get lucky and hear it through the grapevine on Monday, but I'm not being John Malkovich. I can't see through any of the Funko employees' eyes. I know that some people out there can, and there are people on Twitter and Instagram that do that, and congratulations that you found a loophole in to get all this leaked information, because I'm sorry, you have to know somebody that works there to get some of the stuff they're getting. And we don't know anyone that works there. I know let me take that back. Let me backpedal. I know a few people that work there, but they're not giving information out. So congratulations.
They're not They're not big ballers in the Funko tree of woe.
They're peon.
No, I will say a lot of times you can message Funko on Twitter. I've seen people do it.
The Ask
and
Funko?
They will give you, yes, they'll directly like tweet Funko and ask them, say, hey, when is this coming out? We are curious. Because somebody did that with the
Stephen
SNL.
Pumpkinbigs.
David S. Pumpkins. There we go.
The 3-pack,
David S. Pumpkins 3-pack with the dancing skeletons. I know that is supposed to come out in October because someone from Funko tweeted back to someone that said that it is anticipated to be around Halloween.
It's not a bad idea to ask.
Will say, I'm not going to ask them.
They troll and they give answers. So it's a flip of a coin. If you want to,
you don't know if they're telling the truth.
Yeah. Or they'll just show up at 2:55 and be like, oh, I'll put a post up for Funko Fun Days and be like, oh, what was it? The Pickle Rick or something. I forget what it was. But then just blatantly troll everyone. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that's what they do.
Hope you're having fun hanging around.
Yeah. Ooh, in our faces, we're so stupid. We just wasted 3 hours of our time to be jerked to the left by Tumblebee. Man, if I could just say expletives on this podcast, I would say a row of 20 expletives and then I'd say Tumblebee. So just put that in your mind. Tumblebee. There you go.
Should we make that into a shirt? Just like a bunch of characters, exclamation points, and at symbols, and then just the word Tumblebee.
Yes. I don't know if that's trademarked.
There's nothing else on that shirt.
It's just that Tumblebee. Mother
Tumblebee.
stupid Tumblebee. The last thing on the leak, because we're running over here. Every time we say the episode's going to be short, we just get on a freaking Storage Wars rant.
We've never had a short episode.
Yeah, it's always over an hour. So the last of the leaks or the news releases, this one's a leak, but the Toy Tokyo Blue Chrome Vegeta leaked out because someone works there or Toy Tokyo wanted to rummage up some excitement for the New York City Comic-Con, which will be there, so we may be able to get it. All right, this week, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is if you know anything about us as a patron, you know some of the things I went through this week with trying to verify a pop was real. If you go to, I think it's Pop Trading, one of the groups out there, Pop Trading Vinyl or something, I had to phone a friend on a pop. And the story behind this, before we go into what our topic is this week, which is how to spot a fake Funko Pop, I wanted to tell you what happened to me this week. And it sort of goes along with what I just said about my Game of Thrones. So there's pieces that I'm trying to get rid of to collect the Game of Thrones pieces that I want. And one of those pieces is a 2012 San Diego Comic-Con metallic Spider-Man. Now, if anyone knows about these pop, back in the day, 2010, 11, 12, and I would say even so far as some of the early 13 pops, they didn't really have great paint jobs. They didn't put everything together the best. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that some of these came with errors in the paint. The metallic didn't cover every aspect of the pop. And I happen to have one of the pops that just doesn't have the greatest paint job. Well, I put this item up for sale, and a couple of people saw that I was selling it and reached out to me directly. And they wanted photos of the bottom of the pop, which I even recommend that you do if you, for a second, believe the pop is fake. Now, something that derailed me here is I took a picture of the bottom of the pop's feet and the box and everything, and the person told me, well, this pop is fake. And then he gave me an image of another pop that he had that said, well, this is the real item that I have. And something looked off about it. But he was so adamant about it and said, no, this is the correct stamp. This is the correct number on the bottom of the pop. This is when it was released. Let me see the paint job on your pop. I didn't oblige every aspect of the conversation from them, but it was convincing enough to have me think that the pop was fake. And this was not even from somebody directly contacted me and made me contact someone else. And in the process, the other person was the one that deterred me from it. I seriously doubted it. And they were adamant about the stamp on the bottom of the foot being wrong. And when we'll get to it later, I'll discuss all those items, but it had me really second guess myself. And it's something that I haven't done in a long time, but there were good reasons as to why I second guessed it. So I had to phone a friend, and the friend being, you always go out there and reach out to someone who has the pop themselves or is in a group that can show you images and then verify it. And I was able to verify that it was real and then tell that person, jump off a bridge. But for my sake, I was lucky because I've been collecting for a long time. There's not a lot of people that are always that lucky. So what we did this week is we took time out and revisited the eBay episode. And I listened back to the finding your pop or building your pop collection off of eBay. In that episode, I said at a later date, we'll sort of expand on this. And this is our time to do that, because what better a time when I almost get derailed with what I thought was a real pop to talk about this. No one's immune to thinking that they may have a fake pop. So I really wanted to go through all of the aspects. So this week's main topic, and we could have really put it in the novice series. So we'll just not call it part of the novice series, but we'll just say the filler episode leading up to San Diego Comic-Con series. How to spot a fake pop. And one of the first things I want to point out is always know where and who you are purchasing from. And something that we brought up in the eBay episode is the seller in China? And Piper will tell you, if the seller's in China, it's
a no-go. Don't trust anything. It's gonna come in from China because I'd say we think 98% chance that it is going to be fake.
I think you're exactly right.
I've fallen into this trap myself, not with pops, actually with board games, but it was a really rare board game. And I was like, I should have known better. It was way too cheap. No way would it have been $38. And I was like, I'll chance it. I never saw that thing. And I got my money back anyway.
And you're right. If it's too good to be true, it's normally too good to be true.
Listen to your tum-tum. Listen to your gut. It's gonna tell you this ain't real. Don't get all excited just because you think you got I don't know,
blue chrome Batman.
Get yourself a blue chrome Batman or a golden Willy Wonka and Oompa Loompa for $6. That's not happening. Nobody is that stupid. Not even grandmas who don't know what they got.
I've seen people order them just to take a chance, and they get them and they're just spray painted. And it's like, for $15, I was willing to take a chance.
There's a dude just recently that he had ordered a Game of Thrones, The Throne from New York City Comic Con like 2 years ago. He ordered one for like super cheap. It was like $15 or something like that, just so he can compare. And I actually like the paint job on the fake better than the real. And you can blatantly tell the difference. Like you look at the box and it doesn't have any of the Funko branding on it.
Yeah, was that the video that you saw?
Yeah.
The video on YouTube. Yeah, we were looking at the same one, and I thought the exact same thing that you did. I was like, man, that paint job is really good.
It looks real distressed, and I'm like, man, that looks neat. And the Funko one, it looked kind of like the shading and stuff is more cartoony, but man. So maybe if you want to display a pop, order one from China so that you can put it out on the shelf and you don't have to worry about unboxing your now $95 Game of Thrones throne.
Yeah, so there's a place, there's a time and place for everything. If you want to take the risk, feel free, but know that, like we said, 98% chance it's not going to happen. Also, does the person have a reputable feedback in groups if you're trying to go 1-to-1 for the sale? Or does the site you are buying from have a reputable rating? A lot of times I use user reviews. I use feedback from individuals on Facebook. A lot of groups have a feedback pinned post or saved document that they update regularly where people can go in and talk about how good they can actually edit the document themselves and say how good their transaction was. And also you can even go to the Better Business Bureau to see how a company is rated. And then also friends' experiences with people or businesses. A lot of times I'm in a number of groups when I want to order maybe a mystery box or an item from $7 a pop or someplace. I'll say, hey, have you ordered from there? Have you incurred any problems? And if so, give me the experience from beginning to end. Really leverage all the inputs you can on the rating system.
This recently happened with, I think it was the Dragon Zord. Was that last year?
Yeah.
Then the Dragon Zords came out. Yeah. So I remember, do you remember this? There was some company popped up and they were selling Dragon Zords when they were completely sold out, but they supposedly had some. And they were selling them for under retail, people buying from them. And we were just like, yeah, don't buy that.
Yeah.
Because they're a known scamming company. Because people don't realize how easy it is to set up an online shop. Like I could set up tonight. I could set up an online store in about an hour and have it up and ready to go tomorrow for, oh, look, I can pre-sell these blue chrome Vegetas and then sell them. And then I say, oh, delivery is going to be, in November 1st. But guess what? I'm gone before then. And you can try to file with your credit card company if you want to wait until then, but you're going to be out the money. They may refund it to you, but if you wait that long, you might end up getting screwed out of it. I can take that money and I can just get out. I'm done. So there's lots of people that do that. They'll just throw up fake websites, or they're real websites, but they don't have the product they claim that.
And a lot of times people don't go for that refund too. It's kind of along the lines of, what are those things? Rebates, right? People don't file for their rebates. It's kind of like that for refunds. If it's $12.99 and it's something difficult for people, they're just like, whatever. I just got scammed. And companies are counting on that. So you got to watch out and really know the reviews on a company. Another big item that I like to stress, and this breaks down into multiple subcategories, is always look at the images. And this is true to eBay or anything else. You always want to avoid stock photos. I think that doesn't really need to be said, but for new collectors, I'm going to go out there and say, if it's a stock photo and it says it ships from China, then that percentage went from 98 to 100. Don't buy it.
Well, and that I want to say, I'll add a little caveat here that this avoid stock photo thing applies to companies that are, or not even companies, but individuals. Because there's a lot of companies you can look at, like Pop and Box, $7 a pop, places like that, Big Apple, that they're going to use stock photos because they can't, they're not going to have an image for every single piece of item in their inventory. So it's kind of like you just kind of have to be aware when you're dealing with a company because they, just based on time and ability, they may not have an actual photo of the item that you're purchasing. So, but in an individual case, somebody's posted on like Mercari or OfferUp or eBay or something like that, they should have a photo.
Exactly. And people like $7 a pop will give a description of condition too. They'll throw a stock photo out there and they'll say this pop is a 7. The only problem that I see with any of that is that it's subjective to user, right? Your 7 is not the same as my 7, and categorizing what a 7 is, even though you say it's a 7, it's typically not the same for everyone. So subjective things like that, it's better to use visual aid than it is to just say, hey, this stock photo, this pop is a 7, and then cross your fingers. But that's just my opinion. But Piper's exactly right. In this case, I would say if it's a stock photo, verify the business or especially the person too. If not listed, request images of all sides of the box. This not only validates what the condition may be, but also helps with authenticity. And some of the things that you should look for when people are sending all the images of the box, you got 6 sides, right? Always, always, always go to the bottom of the box first. You can verify that item number on there. And I looked through message boards because someone told me this a long time ago. There's stickers on some boxes. Some of the newer boxes just have stamps and printed numbers on them. I think the first 3 numbers basically delineate where it was made, where the pop was made, the manufacturer. Because I was looking at some of the Destiny pops and they have DRM as well as the Saga DRM. I don't know where that is and I didn't find any definitive thing on that. And if you know, maybe you can reach out to us anywhere. I would say just email us at info@popcollectorsalliance.com. But that tells you where it is. And then actually the number on there, you'll see a year number. I have Pulpo. He is an Emerald City Comic Con exclusive from this year, the purple one. And on the bottom, his number is JJL180110. Now, if I look at all of these pop, the JJL should be there saying it was made in a certain area. And then 18 stands for the year that the pop was made. So a lot of these pop will have, well, all of them should have it on the bottom of their feet as well. Some of the older ones don't. They'll have like a 3-digit code, but verify that number, that you can see that number there. Also ensure that the pop matches the artwork on the box. This happened a lot with some of the Iron Patriots. The artwork on the box should match the pop. So if you've got the Iron Patriot.
Wait, so you're telling me that Iron Man inside of a Harry Potter box is not real?
Got it. Nailed it.
Yes, I'm an expert.
A lot of times those fakes that they did with the Iron Patriot, the emblems aren't correct on his suit. The chest emblem is incorrect. The emblem on the left arm is incorrect as well on there. And you can see the differences between the box and there. And we're going to put some visual aids. I'm going to do an article that accompanies this episode so you can sort of look at the differences between a real and a fake, but always make sure that matches on there. Also, look at the fonts on the bottom of the box. Fakes often have different fonts, such as the UPC codes or other wording on the bottom. And Piper pointed out good with the Game of Thrones, the Funko on the New York Comic Con sticker was not there, the company logo. And then on the front of the box, it should have said Game of Thrones right beside the number of the pop, and it didn't on the fake. But a lot of the fakes on the bottom, the UPC code font will be different from a real pop. And you can use eBay or anything else to validate what a real pop is, or a friend that has the pop, and just say, hey, do I have a real or fake? Can you take a picture of the bottom and show me all of these things?
Next thing that you probably want to do is ask for images of the feet of the pop. And that kind of sounds strange, but it's really important. And that's one of the easiest ways to tell if something is real or fake. I'm not saying that this can't be faked as well, but most of the time you're going to have these people that are trying to, like, they're running tons and tons of these fakes. They're not going to go to the trouble of doing this. So on the bottom of the foot, there is an item number that is stamped on. I think it's the left foot. Is that right?
Yeah, I believe so.
On the left foot, you're gonna have
depends on the figure too.
Yeah. So on the foot, there's just a item number stamped on there. There's a Funko LLC and made in somewhere, wherever it may be made, because they vary. Some of them are in Vietnam, some are in China. New models will match the number on the bottom of the box. So these two things are going to correspond as well. So you can match those guys up. I will say that can be confusing though, because sometimes you're going to have a number on a box that is different than the number on the actual figure.
Yes, and that is true in the case of my Spider-Man. The number on the box was a JJL number. However, the foot number is A1234 or something. And it varies from pop to pop, right? Because there's some that have the same box that have a different JJL number on each one of those. Because that variant of Spider-Man had a metallic, it had a regular pop, and it had a glow-in-the-dark variant. And they all had different JJL numbers on the bottom of them. I don't know if they had those same stamp numbers, but once I saw the stamp number, it did not, however, say Funko LLC made in China on the bottom. It just said made in China. And that's where he was trying to convince me that it wasn't there. But a lot of the older ones, they might not necessarily have Funko LLC on them. It was just,
especially if they're short production too.
Yeah, exactly. The unfinished paint too. That's a great time to look at pop if you're looking at the bottom of the feet. There was a case of one of our listeners and one of my friends where he purchased a patinaed Batman, and he looked at the bottom and you could tell that it was painted because the bottom of the feet were actually black. And
it's like a different color.
Yeah, it was a different color than the pop. And luckily for him, he was able to reach out to the guy that had sold it to him and get his money back and send the pop back. But yes, it is and can be faked. And oftentimes people try to do it. And sometimes it's very convincing. Like the Martian Manhunter. That's a great example of somebody making the pop almost better than Funko did, and then driving the price down because they put all of these fakes on the market and people believed them. And there was different subtleties about it, where the border around the Martian Manhunter's head, the little white border, the outline of it is a lot more distinguished and wider on the fake version than it is on the real pop. It's one of the main giveaways. And the eyes are a little bit darker red, and then it doesn't have the chest plate is different. I saw so many fakes online today when I was looking at them, and I'll put pictures in there when I do this article, so everybody can reference it. You can just go to collectpops.com and look for one of our articles in there when I get it up. But there are just little subtle ways that people change things on a real and a fake, and Planet Aurelia Vegeta is going that way now. And why not? If you can scam someone out of $800 and just put it up there and it's a fake,
a lot of these people that are selling the fakes, they're not charging what like eBay prices are. They're doing it so they'll sell a lot of them. So they'll maybe sell like the PA Vegeta for like $200 instead of $1,900, because they think, oh, I'll trick 15 people into buying these instead of me hoping maybe selling one. Because more people are going to have $200 to throw at something than are going to have $1,900. So it's one of those things. You got to be cautious. Again, is it too good to be true? If so,
use common sense in those cases. Also, always remember, when in doubt, phone a friend. And this is what I did this week. You can use Facebook groups, attach images to a post, and say, hey guys, is this real or fake? You're going to get people that troll you. Be prepared for that. Whether go, oh, pay fake price for it. How much you want for it? You'll have people that come out to you and say, how much do you want for it? Like you're trying to sell it or whatever. They always troll. Just ignore the trolls. There are nice people on there that will help you out. In my case, there were a gentleman showed me the bottom piece of his pop, and it validated any concerns that I have that it was real. And I think 2 or 3 other people came out and showed those too. So it just goes miles in just putting you at ease so that you're not worried about it. And also, I would also say, if you know someone who has the pop, reach out to them and tell them to give you images. A lot of people are really sketchy when it comes to open the bottom of these boxes. Just say, "Hey, dummy, put a butter knife in there and it'll pop open without damaging the box," and snap a picture. Don't really say that, but you can tell them that's a way to do the box. Also, Reddit or the Funko Fanatic boards, they're also good resources to use, and tons of collectors who have been collecting a really long time are on there and are always willing to assist others when in need. And I would say take everything that we've said here today, bundle that up into a ball, and use the community to help each other. You can even contact me and I'll reach out to personal friends of mine, people that have really large collections. I can help you. You can just go to our Facebook page and message us directly if you ever have a question about a fake pop. You can use this guide, but I think this is a pretty all-inclusive guide to finding out what's fake and what's not. And when you have holes or gaps that you can't figure it out, always lean on the community. Myself, Piper, Pop Collectors Alliance in general, or any of the other groups that are out there that are reputable. So that's pretty much all there is to spotting a fake pop. It's not as difficult as you think, and people are out there to help. If you have any other pointers or any other experiences you had with getting a fake pop, knowing a friend that got a fake pop, let us know. info@popcollectorsalliance.com, facebook.com/popcollectorsalliance, Twitter and Instagram, Pop Alliance Pod. All these places you can contact us. Tell us your hero or horror stories. That's what we want to hear, so that we can share them with our community and everyone else out there so that they don't fall into the same traps that we do or have. Hopefully, people still do it.
You're going to get trapped.
You're going to get trapped, son. Well, we got done before 12 o'clock for once.
It's amazing.
That is amazing. Big things to come. Next week, it's probably going to be a short episode or no episode at all. Don't panic if you don't hear it. Again, I'm on vacation all this week. We may try to cut something little as a bonus leading into it, but I've seen a lot of chatter. I haven't even talked about this with Piper yet, but there's been a lot of people
Are you dropping something on me?
No, referencing the website and
Oh.
all of our shared exclusives. I've seen a couple people mentioning it in other groups and pointing back to our website. So our website is awesome and amazing, and we'll try to get all of the placeholders on there as we can, and at least get all the exclusives up there so that you guys have a good reference guide. There's just so many exclusives, and there's only so much time in a day that we can get to put them up there. But if you haven't, check out our website, collectpops.com. We didn't change the name, but that points back to it. It's a lot easier to remember. Collectpops.com. Tons of great stuff on there. We're bringing more articles out week by week, revisiting the Finder series and updating it because there have been changes since we started it last December. And these articles, like I'm going to bring this week with the fake pop, all kinds of good stuff on there. And it's a one-stop shop for San Diego Comic-Con.
There's a cool little section that I made that has it breaks down everything. Any articles that we've written about San Diego Comic-Con, all the shared exclusives, all the placeholders that we have. So it's nice. You get one place to go
and share that with your friends, families, and families of friends and families, and even your third cousin that you don't like. So tell everyone to go there. Again, if you have a second, rate our podcast 5 stars. We appreciate you listening to us. Check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Pop Collectors Alliance. There are tons and tons and tons of people that are willing to help you on Patreon. And our Discord server is just another level. And it does not break the bank for you to join that. It's like $1 or $2 a month. A lot of that goes to verifying the people that come on are sincere about supporting the community. So check us out again, patreon.com/Pop Collectors Alliance. It's been a great episode. Again, 2 episodes, straight fire, my friends. Remember, when in doubt, phone a friend, or the PCA, my friends. Pop Collectors Alliance is here every week. When you enter the no-flip zone, you exit the no-flip zone. So until next time, my friends, I'm Rick.
Piper.
Good night.
Sleep tight.
I love you.
You ever notice we say sleep tight and people are listening to us in the afternoon?
Maybe this is their ASMR.
Maybe they listen to this in the bed.
this your pop ASMR? Just turn off the light.